Hey guys! I knew I was going to Tennessee. I knew I was going to go to a bookstore, and I knew I was going to buy all the books. Okay, that's a little excessive. I didn't buy all the books. I bought a good amount of books though. But the worst part about me buying all these books is the fact that I'm wanting to put myself on a book buying ban. I'm starting to think that's going to have to be like a New Year's resolution type thing, because I'm going to have like no restraint at Christmas time. It's not going to happen. And I'm also coming up with like penalties, and I'm having a little bit of trouble. Like if I break my book buying ban, like I have to do such and such. So if you guys have a good idea for a penalty, leave it in the comments below. As long as it's not something that'll get me physically injured, I'm okay to do pretty much anything. I'm going to start off with the books that I got from Goodwills and thrift stores. The first book I got was Splendor, a Lux novel by Anne Garberson. The next book I got was Radiant Darkness by Emily Whitman. I've truthfully heard nothing about this book. I read the summary and it was a Hades and Persephone retelling, and if you don't know by now, I love Hades and Persephone, so I pretty much love to read any kind of book I can find about them. The next book I bought on a whim. Lock and Key by Sarah Dessen. I've been wanting to read a Sarah Dessen book for a long time. Everyone says they're fantastic. And the Goodwill had 4 or 5 Sarah Dessen books, but this one was the only one that actually sounded interesting to me. And the hardback is so beautiful. The next book I got, I'm not sure I'm going to read it or not. I mainly bought it because it was 49 cents and I've heard so many good things about it. But I've also heard it's really depressing, so that's why I haven't read it yet. Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I know you guys are probably thinking, what, you just now getting this book and you haven't read it yet? But I've had really bad personal experiences with cancer, and this just wasn't a book that I felt like I was emotionally ready to pick up right away, and I'm still not. So it will probably be a while before I get to this book, but I will get to it. The next book I got, I have also been wanting to get for a long time, but I didn't want to pay like an outrageous amount of money for it. That is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. And I also wanted to get this cover. Isn't this just a beautiful cover? And I really don't know much about this book other than it's set in Germany during World War II, I believe. Masquerade by Melissa de la Cruz. The Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. 8th Grade Bites by Heather Brewer. The next book I got is technically a children's book. Tinkerbell. I love the Tinkerbell movies, so I had to pick this up. I think the story goes a little bit different than the movie, but it also has pictures from the movie in here, and I'm really excited to read this. The next book I got was the English to Japanese Dictionary. For those of you who don't know, I'm trying to learn Japanese. I don't foresee myself going to Japan anytime soon, probably not in this lifetime, but I do love the culture and I really want to learn the language. The last book I got at a Goodwill, Tricks by Ellen Hawkins. I don't know if these books can be read as standalones or you have to read them like a series, you know, in order. So if you know, let me know. The next book I got was from TJ Books, and I'm not sure if that's an official bookstore or not. I just know it's a bookstore that's always at the flea market. I was pretty sure I got 2 books, but I can't find the other one. Sweetly by Jackson Pierce. I wanted it in paperback, so I matched my copy of Sisters Red, but I couldn't find this cover in paperback. So when I saw it in hardback for only $2.50, I had to grab it. The next book I got at a Christian bookstore, Girl Online by Zoe Sugg. For those of you who don't know, Zoe Sugg is Zoella from YouTube. Moving on to the books I got from Books A Million. First I'm going to go through the books in my Pioneer Rentals bag. For those of you who don't know, Pioneer Rentals was who we got our cabin through to go to Tennessee. For those of you who haven't watched my vlog videos, never rent from Pioneer Rentals again. If you want to understand why, go watch my first vlog video. You don't have to watch the rest of them, just watch the first one. I'll leave the video linked below. Okay, I'm going to start off by going through the manga, and I'm pretty sure these are the only ones I got. There may be more in the other bag, I'm not sure. But the first ones I got were Bloody Mary by... I can't read the name with that font. It's hurt my eyes. But there's the name of the author and artist. And I have volumes 1, 2, and 3. I know this series is about vampires, and I know that a lot of people love this series. So even though mangas are really, really expensive, I decided to pick up the first 3 volumes. The next manga I got was Mission of Love, Volume 12 by Emma Toyama. I had the first 9 volumes of this series. I'm missing 10 and 11. I do love this series. It is so cute and the artwork is fantastic. It's about a girl who writes stories online, and she's actually getting one of her stories published. But the problem is she needs inspiration because her love scenes aren't what her fans are expecting. If I remember correctly, she blackmails one guy into teaching her about being boyfriend and girlfriend, and then her best friend is in love with her. And I don't know, in this book some other characters come in and throw a wrench into it, and it's just a very dramatic series and I love it. And the next manga I got, all of you should know about, Big Hero 6 Volume 2 by Haruki Yino. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. But this is basically the movie, but with a few more added twists to it. And there's only 2 volumes to the series. And I love this movie so much. And the artwork in this is like beautiful. I love it. Hiroki is so cute. If only he could have looked like this in the movie. And it's probably a good thing he didn't look like this because my heart couldn't have took him at the end of the movie if he looked like this. I mean, look at him. He's so cute. How could you not love that face? Moving on, I have No Game, No Life by Yu Kamiya. I don't know much about this series other than it's about a brother and sister who are obsessed with gaming. My last manga, Directorial Grimmoire. I don't know how to say the title of this manga series for the life of me. Story and art done by Ayumi Kanu. There's the title. I know I said it wrong. And I think this is just a 3-volume series. I actually just ordered volumes 2 and 3. This series is basically about a boy who's a descendant of the Grimms, and it's going through the Grimm fairy tales. And apparently the girls in the story, like Cinderella, Red Riding Hood, and the Queen of Hearts, they're men. So that's very interesting, and I can't wait to see where that goes. But those are all my manga. Moving on to the books. Red Riding Hood by Sarah Barkley Cartwright. I've heard quite a few booktubers talking about this book, and I've been wanting to get it for a long time, but it wasn't one of the books. It was like on the top of my list. But when I saw it for less than $3 at Books A Million, I jumped on it. Not literally, but I was carrying a lot of books. I could have fell on it, I guess. The next book I got is Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. This book series, it's so odd. I mean, it's a Wizard of Oz retelling, but Dorothy is evil? What? I'll probably wait to get the rest of the books before I start this series, but that is so weird. I like that. I mean, how many books do you read where the heroine is now the villain and the villains are the good guys? Not often. At least I haven't. The next book I got is A Cold Legacy by Megan Shepherd. This is the 3rd book of the Madman's Daughter series, which I think the whole series is basically a Frankenstein retelling. Then I have The Archive by Victoria Schwab. Moving on to the big bag, I found another book I got at the TJ's Books in the flea market, and that was As You Wish by Jackson Pierce. And I think this is an Aladdin retelling. Not 100% sure about that though. The next 3 books I got, Enclave, Outposts, and Horde, all by Anna Greer. Not in the Script by Amy Finnegan. And I believe the main characters of this book are actors, and it's about them having an on-set romance, even though they know that those normally don't work out. Other than that, I don't know much else about it. The stickers are covering up the summary. I couldn't read all of it. Put your stickers elsewhere. The next book I got, I've been eyeballing for a long time, and that's Heartbreakers by Ali Novak. And this is about a girl who has a 6th sister, and she's standing in line for hours to get her favorite band's CD signed. And she unknowingly trash talks the band to the lead singer. That's really all I know about the book, and I really can't wait to read this. I may read this next month during the Booktubeathon, I'm not sure. The next book I got is Blue Bloods by Melissa de la Cruz. This is the 1st book of the Blue Bloods series. Then I have Until the Beginning by Amy Plum, and this is the sequel to After the End. And I was surprised when I saw this book because I didn't even know there was a sequel. The next book I got was The Indigo Spell by Rochelle Mead. And this was the last book I needed to complete the Bloodline series. I will go ahead and tell everybody that I'm not going to be reading the Shadowhunter Academy or the Bloodline series next month because the Booktubeathon is supposed to be happening next month, and I want to read a lot of diverse books because it just feels like I've been reading large series here recently, and I think that's actually true. I read all of Cassandra Clare's books, and then I read all of Rick Riordan's books, and only like a couple in between those. So I need to read different books, not books in series. The next book I got was The Wizard Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. So I now have like the first 3 or 4 books of this series, and a lot of you have been recommending her other series, and I did look for those books, but I couldn't find any at the physical store, so I'll probably have to buy them online. The next book I got is Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, the first book in the Reckoners series. Brandon Sanderson's books have been all over BookTube, so I wanted to pick up at least one of his books, and this series sounded amazing, so I'm hopefully going to be getting Firefight soon. I then have a very heavy book, Afterworlds by Scott Westerveld, Endgame by James Frey, The Heir by Kara Cass, and this is the 4th book of the Selection series. The next book I got I started to buy online, but I'm so glad I waited. The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Audier, and it's an autographed copy. And it's not a stamped on autograph, it's an actual physical autographed copy. I believe this series is just a duology, and it's a retelling of 1001 Nights. Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. In these books, even though the weird pictures kind of put me off them at first, I read the summary and it sounds amazing, so I want to get them all in hardback. And I was lucky enough to find Hollow City for like $6, but they didn't have the other 2 books in hardback, so I only ended up getting Hollow City. I will get the other 2 books. And last but not least is a newly released book. And you all probably have seen the book trailer on this. I mean, Kat, Jessie, and Christine are all in it. The Marked Girl by Lindsay Klingly. I didn't really read the summary for this book. The book trailer just was hilarious. And I have a feeling this is going to be a very interesting book, and I cannot wait to read it. And this book cover is so beautiful. It's like a modern city down here, and up above the sky is like ancient ruins. So those are all the books I bought while I was in Tennessee. Hopefully. Really hope those were all the books. If not, I'll show them in my next haul video. Now for the thumbnail. It's gonna be harder than I thought. Oh wow. This table, I mean, I know I'm short, but this table comes to my hips. Oh my god. I'm gonna die. Oh. I'm not standing back far enough for this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stupid cords. I'm backed into a corner. Oh, my arms. My arms, my arms, my arms. Okay, that's gonna have to be good enough. Oh, my arms. Why are books so heavy? Okay. Now I have the fun task of finding places for these books on my bookshelf. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!